Amis téléspectateurs de Radio Télépixel, c'est un plaisir immense pour nous de vous rejoindre encore une fois cette fin de semaine pour notre émission qui est Facilité, qui est présentée sur les ondes de Radio Télépixel. Facilité, comme vous le savez, c'est le couloir entre vous et nous où l'on vous parle de technologie numérique, ce qui se fait, ce qui se dit, ce qui se passe dans ce secteur. Et l'on va chercher les invités pour venir nous parler de leur expérience. Et on aborde des thématiques qui sont très spécifiques à travers cette émission. Ceci, c'est pour aider tous les étudiants qui nous regardent, qui nous écoutent toutes les fins de semaine et qui sont encore en train de boucler leur cycle d'études et qui devront bientôt se rendre sur le marché du travail. Nous, à travers cette émission, on se donne comme objectif de leur aiguiller, de leur aider à travers l'expérience des autres pour qu'on soit en mesure justement d'éviter certaines erreurs, des erreurs que d'autres ont commises et qu'eux-mêmes, ils vont pouvoir quand même acheminer dans leurs études. Aujourd'hui, on va aborder une thématique spéciale, c'est Project Management, gestion de projet TI. C'est quoi la gestion de projet? C'est quoi la différence entre un gestion de projet TI et les gestions de projet traditionnelles? Quelles sont les qualités d'un bon gestionnaire de projet? Voilà autant de points que l'on aura abordés avec notre invité, qui est un project manager, qui est un scrum master, qui a beaucoup d'expérience sur le marché du travail. David, I'm very happy to receive you tonight at Facility. Tell me about yourself as a professional in IT field.
All right, well, thanks, Clement, for the opportunity to invite me to share my experience here with the audience. Well, for everyone that is watching, my name is David, and I'm an IT project manager, and I've been doing project management for the last around 15, 16 years. And I started in my born country in Mexico. I started since the first level of project management, like a controller, doing all the administrative activities, controlling budget and all that stuff. And as I was working more on collaborating with different project managers, I was able to manage small and then continue having the opportunity to manage big projects, medium to big projects. So it's one of the things that I enjoyed in part of my job to work in project is to work with people. So that's what I've been doing for the last 16 years. And then when I moved to Canada from Mexico, I continue my career in project management. So currently I'm working as an IT project manager consultant. And that's what I'm doing right now at this present moment.
Excellent. Thank you, David. I hope the students will have to learn a lot of stuff based on your experience. After 15 years of experience in that domain, that I'm pretty sure a lot of information will be shared across this interview. David, a lot of people always hear about project management, project manager. How simple can you define for my audience what is project management?
Sure. Well, project management, it's in a very simple words, is the way, or how I call it, the art of how a person, in this case, a project manager, manage, organize, and also orchestrate all the resources as part of the project so they can complete the project on time, on budget, and delivered as the expected, as the business business unit expected. So in a very simple way, is just the person who, like in a concert, who orchestrate all the resources so everybody works together to deliver the project on time. So that's project management. Is that skill that develops through the practice. So that's basically what's project management in very simple words.
Okay, cool. So we have, as a project manager, to manage the project, to deliver the product on time, inside the budget, the initial budget. And okay, cool. David, I know you are IT project manager, and I know there is traditional project management. what is the difference between IT project management and traditional project management? How can you define those two project management? There is a difference, obviously?
Well, based on my experience, the traditional the traditional project management is not pretty much a big difference as IT project manager. The only difference I found is that the project management or the project manager traditional is like it sees the big picture of a project. Let's say on a manufacturer company, for example, there's different project managers, including the IT, and it work with the different project managers. As the IT project manager, it uses the same methodology that the global PM, if you want to call it like that, like the standard the Project Management Institute has on the market. Mm-hmm. So it's, for me as an IT project manager, there's not a lot of big difference as to become the PM of the big project and the IT project manager. Is just the IT project manager just watch and orchestrate just the portion of everything related to applications, infrastructure, everything that is IT to support the business unit. So the PM that has the relationship with the stakeholders, with the owners, have all the information to provide all the results or the status of the project. But they work together because IT is just a piece of the puzzle. So that's mainly how you can differentiate IT project manager than the main project manager in depending on the project.
Okay, cool. That's fair enough. What are the criteria that will make someone a good project manager?
That's a very good question, because in my experience, I've found that I've experienced that there's different skills that a project manager has to, for me, in my own words, are very, very key. I consider that in order to be a successful project manager, the communication is one of the most important criteria that the project manager needs to have, because the project manager always it's in contact with their team and with the team across the organization. So for me, communication and also that willing to work with teams, to lead them, to even motivate them in certain way, because sometimes there's going to be resources that come to the team and they're not well motivated to work with the rest of the team members. So the project manager needs to have that skill to approach them, to work with them, and to be able to, in a certain way, coach them to understand what is the situation. So that's, for me, the criteria of communication and the willing to work with people. Those are the key to become a successful project manager.
In simple words, the project manager is a leader, is a coach.
Yep.
That will coach people to help them to realize the activities, doing all the process to get the product delivered on time inside the budget as well. He controls everything. Good. So the most important thing that I pay attention to communication. You say the project manager should be a good someone with a good communication in order to be able to explain to everyone, to every stakeholders in the project how things are going. That's very good. Another question for you. I know a lot of people have some courses at the university, project management courses. Tell us about some certification that exists for project manager, and then why they are important, those certifications.
Sure. Well, there's a lot of certifications under the Project Management Institute, which is the organization that it's pretty much the most important, what I consider at this point. Well, I wouldn't say which is the most important, but it's the most recognized institute for project management. The most common certification is the PMP, which is Project Management Professional. Is like the for someone who wants to start in this path, that's the most basic certification in order to be recognized in the market, or to have more credibility, if you want to call it like that. Under the PMI, there's other certifications, as the project manager has experience on leading projects. There's the program management, and there's on the agile environment, there's also the agile practitioner certified manager as well under the PMI. Also on the talking about agile, there's other certifications that they don't call it, they don't call it as project management, but are the Scrum Masters, the product owners, which is part of the Agile Manifesto, and which they have a leadership role that could be similar as project manager, with a different or tweaks because of a different methodology. But there's also another certification that it's called PRINCE2. This certification is similar to the PMP, but the difference is that this certification, PRINCE2, it's more focused on the process and more on the execution. In this certification, they don't see the initiation and the planning phase. They just focus more on how to execute properly towards the process improvement. So in my experience, those are the most important certifications that get someone who wants to start, either to go on the PMI with the PMP. I know project managers, they start with the PRINCE2 depending on their interest, or if someone that has experience on development software, they can go directly to Scrum Master, but you don't need to be PMP in order to be a Scrum Master or product owner, but it's just depending on the objective of, or what is the path the person wants to pursue.
Okay, perfect. So that's required a lot of preparation as well to get ready and go and pass the exam. So
correct.
It's not difficult. I don't know if I can say that like this, but it's not easy as well. So you have to prepare to go and schedule your exam and go and pass your exam. I know you have 15 years of experience, David, so that's a lot on the market. Based on your experience, what are the worst mistakes as a project manager you have to avoid while you are on the process on processing a project? What are the worst mistakes to avoid as a project manager if you want to drive a project?
Sure. Yeah. Under my experience, especially I've learned since the beginning. I've learned from my mistakes, and one of the things that, or I have three. I can tell you three main mistakes that I've learned from my experience that are the worst, and that I hope that someone wants to start in project management try to avoid these three mistakes. I will start with the first one, which is not having a plan to manage. Is one of the things that sometimes when you start, they don't know how to create a plan, even though if it's a basic plan. But the plan, it's the main tool for a project manager. So it's the schedule to follow how I'm going to lead and manage my resources and the deliverables. And also having a plan, it's going to serve the team as a roadmap. So where are we going, and what is the final deliverable? Another mistake is not have a clear project objectives. Even though if I have an objective from the business unit, but if I don't have a clear objective of what is the purpose of the project, it's like you're driving on a dark road and with no light, so you don't know where to go. And the third one is that when you don't have support or you don't have the buy-in of upper management, you can deliver a project successfully on time and on budget, but if you don't have the support or the buy-in of the upper management, the project, even though it was delivered successfully for the company, is not a success project because it doesn't have any advantage or business revenue for the company. So I think for a project manager, it's very key to have a clear objective, buy-in from upper management, and also have a plan to be as successful. So those are the 3 points that I would consider to avoid to become
to have success in the project. I mean, there's something that you mentioned which is very important for me. This is the project objective. Based on your experience after 15 years, it's that already happened to you during your project, the objective change on the middle of the project? Is it something that can happen? You have a goal at the beginning of the project, and during the process, let's say at the middle, something happened, they want to change the objective of the project. Is it something, is it possible, you know, by managing a project, or that already happened to you, and how did you deal with that situation?
Yeah, actually it happens, and also the project manager needs to have that flexibility to adjust, because sometimes the owners or the CIOs or the CXOs, they want to change direction, and also the project change direction. So with this, once the project manager has a clear objective of the initial project, the project manager can adjust the plan, can adjust the resources, the scope of the project, if for any reason for example, the organization wants to change priorities of the business strategies. So yeah, it happens, and it's one of the things that the project manager needs to have, that skill to adapt and be flexible, and have that skill to identify, okay, what are the impacts, and how I can change the scope of the project, so I can turn the focus now to another objective. So yeah, it happens. It can happen.
Excellent, excellent. Again, after 15 years on the market, tell me, it's a tricky question, by the way. What turns you on in the morning when you wake up and then to go at work? What's your excitement? They said, oh, today I'm very exciting to go at work as a project manager. Tell me what is it? What's your motivation, if I can say it like this?
Sure. Well, there's different triggers, but especially one of the ones that I like, and it's one of the things that why I enjoy the project management profession, is to work with people. So before being a project manager, I was working in operations as well as a supervisor in call centers. And now when I'm in project manager, I have the chance to work with people from different teams, from different skills, different knowledge, different backgrounds, different nationalities as well. So, and that's one of the things that I enjoy, because in every project I work with different resources, different IT resources with different skills, and I learn a lot from someone that is in development, or someone that is in network or in telecom. That's one of the things that I liked from project management. And every time that I start a new project, or even though on my current projects, is one of the things that I enjoy, because in every task I learn something new, and that's one of the things that that keeps me motivated to lead projects, because it's not just only one team. So it's a learning experience in every project.
Excellent, David. As I mentioned at the beginning of the show, a lot of students are following us, and they always happy to hear experience from other people like you, David. I'm a student or one of them. Uh, they are interested to be a project manager in the future. So what is your advice for those students who would like to become a project manager in the future?
Sure. Well, actually, yeah, I have a couple of recommendations, a couple of advice if someone that's interested, based on comments that people just come to me and ask me the same question. I will suggest that if someone is interested in this, I will say it because it's a beautiful profession, because I have the chance to work with people, is to first identify why or what is the reason to motivate, like myself, to motivate to work with people. What is the reason that motivate to look to this profession as project manager? Mm-hmm. Once identify and I know, okay, I want to lead teams, or depending on what is the answer, then I will suggest to have in mind that work with people, which is the main resource or the main I wouldn't say tool, but it's the main item where you will want to be working with. Is with people. So working with people sometimes cannot be easy. So my advice is to have in mind that work with people, it will demand to discover new skills on their own. Let's say how to manage a team, how to manage difficult people. So my recommendation is just to prepare and study about how to lead teams, how to motivate teams is one of the things that I would suggest. Just a brief parenthesis. I was teaching project management 2 years ago at a small school, a technical school that they have a program for us project managers, and these questions were very common, and that's what I suggest my students at that time, to find a way to learn tools of how to become a leader and how to apply, even if it's not at work, let's say with friends or with teammates at school, to create small teams to just finish a small project at any subject, that you can start to develop that skill of project management, even though if it's not just the project manager itself, but you can start testing yourself. Yes, I like project manager. I still need to improve my leadership skills. So that way, it's a good at school. It's a very good environment to test your leadership skills. So when you have the chance to lead even a small project, you already know how to lead people, how to motivate them, how to help them to solve any issues. So, and also that will help you as well to discover if you are able to negotiate, because as a project manager, you will need to have that negotiation skill, because you're gonna negotiate with business managers, engineering managers to borrow resources. So that's another advice. If you want to start in this profession, to start discover those at school, helping people, friends, classmates, to identify if I can lead people and what are the improvements I need to work with, so I can be prepared when I have a position in project management or opportunity to lead a small project. So that will be my advice if someone wants to, and a student wants to start this path.
Excellent, David. Thank you for your time. That was very amazing to have that conversation with you. And a lot of information has been shared during that time with the students. I'm pretty sure they are very happy and they will learn a lot of stuff in order to get ready for their career. Mesdames et messieurs, notre invité a été David Baraza. Avec lui, on a discuté de gestion de projet, project management, quelles sont les qualités d'un bon gestionnaire de projet, qu'est-ce qui différencie la gestion de projet TI des gestions de projet traditionnelles, quels sont les facteurs de succès pour un gestionnaire de projet en conduisant un projet technologique. Et avec lui aussi, on a vu est-ce que c'est possible que l'objectif du projet soit changé, dépendamment de ce qui se passe au courant du projet. Est-ce qu'on garde toujours l'objectif de départ ou il y a une possibilité pour qu'au courant du projet, les objectifs de départ puissent changer pour d'autres objectifs? Il ne me reste qu'à vous remercier pour votre temps, pour votre fidélité à cette émission qui est facilitée, qui est présentée toute la fin de semaine sur ce canal qui est Radio Télépixel. Mon nom, c'est Clément Calvert. La façon pour nous joindre, c'est par téléphone 514-799-6087, par courriel clément.calvert@clémentcalvert.com. On est très ouvert à vous. Si vous auriez aimé que l'on aborde des sujets spécifiques pour vous, n'hésitez pas à nous contacter, partagez ces inquiétudes, partagez ces sujets avec nous et nous, on va chercher les ressources nécessaires pour venir vous exposer comment ça se passe sur le marché du travail, dans ce secteur, pour que vous ayez vraiment une bonne idée. Merci encore une fois à vous tous. Le rendez-vous est pris pour la semaine prochaine. Bonne fin de semaine.